What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Shea Marriott from Rebirth Podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to tonight's video. We're going to be talking about women supporting women.
It's your time to renew, rebuild, and restore. Let's go.
What's up? Welcome to the Rebirth. Happy Monday to you guys. Tonight, we are going to have an amazing show. Did y'all like that video? Listen, there is more. There is more to come, okay? I'm so excited to be sitting next to my co-host, my friend, my sister. Welcome to the Rebirth, Michelle Washington.
What's happening, everybody? About time. I haven't been to Rebirth Podcast in 2 to 3 years. So finally, I made it to the studio.
Really?
And I'm super duper excited to be here. Hey, Shay.
What's up, lady? How are you?
All is well. I'm really excited to be here. Seriously.
Mm.
Thank you for the invite.
The door is always welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Look, y'all peep it. Y'all peep it. And we didn't even plan this, y'all. We did not even plan this. So
Nope.
I'm so excited.
It was fitting. When you
Yeah.
said women supporting women,
That's right.
this is what I'm
That's
doing
right.
to support you.
That's right. Thank you. And I
Thank you for
appreciate
supporting
it.
me as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how did y'all like that video? Okay.
It was amazing.
Let's start there.
It was incredible.
Wait. Let's start the conversation right there. Okay. So obviously introducing Women of More Apparel.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me a little bit about the video that we just watched.
First of all, I'm grateful
Mhm.
that you said yes to doing the commercial. You don't really say no to me too often.
I don't.
Anyway, but it was like a quick thing that we did. I said, hey, would you mind? And you say, yeah, sure.
Mhm.
And we captured that. I put it together. And when was it? Like a couple of months ago, we call it staple pieces.
Yes.
So we're not creating a new business of Women of More, but we're creating statement pieces so women can rock it out. And the one that you have on, it says, this woman is a woman of more. And the purpose of that is to let people know who you are before they know who you are. And that's one of the pillars for Women of More. We're more than our titles. We're more than the responsibilities. We're more than our trauma and tragedy, because that's where it all came from.
Absolutely.
But we're Women of More.
Absolutely. I love it. So if you're loving it, if you're feeling it, make sure you go over and get yours.
womenofmoreapparel.com.
See that? She's like right on point. All right, so let's get into it. Tonight we're going to be talking about women supporting women. And if we was to look up what that means, it would be your picture, because you definitely support women. I met you years ago. I always tell this story. I met you years ago on a photo shoot that I was doing for a project at the time. And I was in my outfits, and this woman walks over and she's fixing me and making sure I'm good. And I'm like, well, who is this woman? Like, she don't know me, but you were very supportive and very helpful. And then all of a sudden you were gone. Right. So I always refer to you as my superhero. But that was such a big moment. And I paid attention because I come from a place where I wasn't used to women doing that. Right. Now, my friends, right? But someone that I didn't know, we had never met. Yeah. For you to come over and do that. And to some, it may have been something small, but it was huge for me. So I wanted to find out who you were. And then from there, I reached out to you. and the rest has been history.
And it's just been a natural connection.
It has.
Here's a question that I have for you. When we first met, the support that I gave you, is it still the same today?
It's greater. It's even greater.
Why do you think that is so?
I think it's so because number one, I do believe that you truly believe in me, and you definitely, again, not to play on your title, but you believe that there was more to me, and like you said, it's just a natural. We just have a natural, connection. We have fun together. We work together.
But let me put some shine on that on you, because the only way, or one of the reasons why I'm still the same or greater, is because you allow me to be that in your life. And I think that is one of the main elements in regards to supporting one another. I have to allow you to give me what you have. I have to meet, we meet each other where we are. I'm not expecting something from you that I know you don't have.
Yeah. So that is usually the block, though, right? And I'm glad that you did point that out, because that is the block where women, not all, I think we're getting a lot better, but we didn't allow other women to come in for whatever reason. Rather, you will always hear, I've been hurt by plenty of women in the past, or I don't trust women, I don't trust other women. I don't want to share my ideals. People might steal them. It's so many different variables that come into play as to why we can't support our sister, right? So being open. Being open.
1000%. I am that person in your life is because you allow me to be. You are a friend of mine because I allow you to be. And I think sometimes in friendships or supporting each other as women, we're expecting the other woman to be similar like us. I mean, it is, but our mindset, our experiences, how we see things are different. But if I meet you where you are, that's where I could support you the best. And I think that's why you and I, we do things similar in regards to business, but we know that we're different in the process of it all.
And we respect each other differently.
Man, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. But it brought, I don't think I ever shared this with you when you did your first Rebirth Live. And I think I came from church and you text me and said, am I here? Whatever. And when I came into the room, friend, it was dark in there. Did you have contact lenses on? Because I don't know.
You're funny. You know. Don't you start.
Wait a minute. I came in and I was standing beside Shannon, and you could see me from the back of the room. That's right. And you start But again, the other part is respecting each other. It's so important.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing that I love about you, and I can actually say, and I appreciate about myself, right? Is you are not afraid to critique. You're not afraid to critique. And what I love about myself in regards to this is I'm open to receive that. You know what I'm saying?
But why?
Well, for me, I've always said that I was a student of life. I never pretend to know it all, to have it all together. I'm a teachable person. I want to learn. And if there's something that someone can bring to the table that's going to better me, enhance me, or my team, or my vision, or my brand, or whatever it is, then why not be open to that, right? Even if it's someone pointing out something that I may be doing wrong, or that I could do better. But you do it in such a loving way.
I was waiting for that. I do.
You do it in a loving way. In the beginning, you did it in a loving way. Now you be like, friend, don't let me have to tell you this again.
the air on.
I know, right? It's getting hot.
Good night. But it goes back to what I said. You allow me in that space to be able to give you feedback and vice versa. And I think, like your title says, women supporting women, is it a real thing or is it a trend? The real thing is when you have real relationships and when you have real respect, communication between the two or the crew or whatever. That's how we support each other. Because me not supporting you and saying you're a friend, I don't think we're friends. If I'm letting you just go out there like, and I'm like, all right then, that's not support. It matters.
It does matter.
Even with your podcast, you allow me to, like you said, give my suggestions and all that. And I always say to you, hey, Shea, if it doesn't make sense, don't do it. But I see something. But I'm saying it because I know you could do better. And I know that your brand matters to you. So if I'm on the outside and I say, hey, one of my key things that I say, I'm rooting for you. Well, rooting for you is saying, hey, Shay, that flyer is whack. Okay, take that down and give me a minute.
Yes.
Am I right about that thing right there?
I am about that thing
right about that thing right there.
And that's a true story, right? So I will share this. And I can't remember if it was, oh man, I don't know if it was the first Rebirth Live or if it was even a Rebirth Live, but it was something I was doing. And I thought my little flyer was cute. Okay.
It was
my
cute.
little flyer. I was cute. But then Michelle had you had hit me on Messenger. And you was like, remember that?
Yes.
You said it's nice, but it doesn't represent who you are today. And she was like, hold on. Man, she sent me back the flyer. I was like, okay.
I remember that. Because we wasn't even friends.
We wasn't even friends at that point, right?
I remember that.
It was just a mutual respect thing. And she sent that back, and I was just like, wow, I saw the vision. Now, I will say that everybody has different talents, right? And although I thought I was doing a great job, that's your talent. You're very creative. Your vision for that is so much broader. And now I see it now. But can I create it how you do? No, I can't create it the way that you create it, because that's what make you special, right? So when I got that back, I was just like, okay, yeah, she just pulled my coattail on this one in a loving way. Though.
In a loving way, but see, but this is the thing. Again, I always said to God, I said, listen, I don't want to be that woman that talks a thing and not be the thing. If I'm saying I'm rooting for you, if I'm saying that I'm the ambassador for women around the world, then I have to start where I am.
Right.
And I saw that there was more to you. I saw where you are today. And it's, I think when we first met, it was like a year after that we started talking. It wasn't even that first year that
it wasn't. So so Michelle has she does the morning rally, right?
Is that where we?
So that's where, because I did that. I was on every Thursday morning for 2 years.
Yep. And you stopped and you quit and you never came back again. I don't know. But anyway, everybody support differently.
You know what?
You support different ways. You don't have to come to the morning rally every Thursday at 7 a.m. via Zoom. The morning rally. If those that are watching now, themorningrally.com. Every Thursday morning at 7 a.m. via Zoom. But yes, going back, I used to
come to the morning rally.
Don't anymore. Keep going. Just talk.
First of all, tell the people what the morning rally is for those that may not know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the morning rally, the morning rally is a community of female entrepreneurs. Actually, it's more than entrepreneurs, but the focus is entrepreneurs. We have authors, we have business women, everything, you name it. People from Texas, Atlanta, Philly, New Jersey, Delaware. We all attend this community to learn principles and strategies for our lives as women, and then for whatever business or projects or events we're putting on. And the principles come from a biblical foundation. And there's so many principles in the Bible that can set you up for success. I have been using them. My life has changed. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So it's not a Bible study. It's not something to take you away from your church, but we're really going deep. We're learning marketing. We're learning social media. We're talking about ways we can market or address our audience and be more strategic and intentional. So it's every Thursday morning, 7 a.m. via Zoom. So if you want to join a community, go to themorningrally.com.
That was life-changing for me. It was.
You never said that
the
before,
morning
seriously.
rally. I know. I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now.
Is your mic on?
My mic is on. Mic check. It was life-changing for me. Because it really motivated me and pushed me to where I wanted Rebirth to go.
Man, that's
right.
good.
So Rebirth was around for a few years. Right. But after doing the morning rally, I really started to get a clear vision as to what my purpose was.
That's good.
And
Shea.
what I needed to do. It's a great community of women. And yes, Michelle does use biblical principles to guide the conversation. But it isn't Bible study. It really isn't. But you do walk away feeling so empowered.
Early in the morning.
Early in the morning
man.
it's early at 7 o'clock in the morning.
But don't worry, because you don't come anymore.
But because I'm usually preparing for my clients that early.
Okay.
But I did it for 2 years and it was awesome and it was great. And I recommend, and I have recommended a lot of people over the years to the morning rally. But I recommend that to anyone, not even just with business, but just if you just need to feel empowered as a woman to even understand what you can do.
Absolutely.
That would definitely be something to attend.
Yeah, because I care about you first before your business. I say it to all the women all the time. You know, there's some women that are doing some amazing things, but I always want to know about you first.
Yeah.
Because without you, you don't have all those other things. So
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to kind of get off topic, but not really off topic.
Okay.
We are this year, like I think about the little girls, the little black and brown girls. And wow, now I'm getting emotional. I don't know where this just came up from, but I even think about when I was little. I didn't have a Michelle Obama, a Kamala Harris. I didn't have those type of figures to look up to or to even think I could even be what they are. Right. And to see these women and to know that little black and brown girls, and not all colored young girls, little girls, but more so the little black and brown girls can look and say, I can be president one day. I can be vice president one day. Like, these are major offices, positions to hold. You know, what is your thoughts about what's happening in the world right now?
It is a powerful movement, but I have to respond this way, Shea. Those positions are great. They are game-changing experiences. But the position you hold, Shea, is just as important.
Oh, thank you.
Did you?
She great made me cry, y'all.
And I'm saying that it's because we could look at Michelle and Kamala, not just the little girls, but I mean, you are older than me, but I'll leave that. I'll try to.
You just can't have a serious moment, can you?
I'm trying to respond. I'm trying to respond, and every time I'm trying to be serious.
And what?
I was saying that it's not only the little girls that's looking up to these women. we're looking up to them as well as older women. That's all I'm saying. Shay, all I'm saying is it's not just the little girls that's looking, but I want to bring it down some because there are women that are watching us now and can sense our sincerity, what we're doing and what we're saying about supporting women and being role models. Well, we are those role models.
Yeah.
Because you and not that I desire to meet Michelle or Kamala, but there are women in our community that when they see us at events or different places, they're like, oh my goodness, how are you? And we're making an impact, you know? So I think it's amazing what's going on around the world, but I'm more focused on what's going on in my own backyard, because if I can make an impact there, then I'm really making an impact to other communities.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So Michelle's speech was phenomenal. It was incredible.
Boy,
I love the way she did the twisting of the mouth. I love the side eye. I love because it was realistic. That's what we
you can see you in her.
Absolutely.
And that's important.
That's what and I'm gonna bring it to us again. That's what other women sees in us. They have to see that in us. We're not just here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we're not here just to have a conversation about women supporting women, because sometimes we overuse it to like, but we're illustrating and demonstrating that it is possible.
Absolutely.
It is possible. Absolutely. And it's possible based upon what we set the foundation of what it is. I'm not looking for you to be something that you don't have the capacity to be, and vice versa. We show up and support each other in different ways, and it's not always in person. Sometimes it's a text and say, hey, I know this, that, and that is happening. All right, then.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's an audio text message. Hey, you know, like, yo, what's going on? And that's it.
Yeah.
But showing up, supporting is everything.
It is everything. It's everything, because even with you, you know, using those examples and saying, you know, sometimes it's just that. It's just so simple.
Yeah, man.
We sometimes think that we have to, I don't know, like do something big or, you know, go out the way in order to say, hey, I showed up. But no, it's something as simple as what you just said. You know, texting me before I know I have a big event.
Yes.
Even if you or a big test. Yeah. Even if you can't attend an event that I'm doing, the fact that you're thinking about it and you're thinking about me, that means the world to me. You know? So I think we have to really get out of our head that showing up means you gotta really, I don't know, like it's gonna be a inconvenience to you when it really doesn't have to.
Yeah. But why do we do that? Why do we make
it
bigger than what it needs to be?
I don't know. I don't know if one who thinks that way is looking at how they would want someone to show up for them, and if that's not being done, then they're just not going to do anything at all. But I think that you should be able to, I don't know, I like this question. How can I support you?
Yeah Me too.
Right.
I like that.
I like using that a lot, and the reason why I use that a lot is because I don't want to assume that I'm supporting you, because my support looks different than what your support may look like.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So if I'm asking you, well, how can I support you? You know, you're able to tell me, you know, you're able to tell me, oh, you know what, Shay, you know, I need you to just check people in. You know, that's how you can support me. Or I need you to make cupcakes. That's how you can support me. I need you to pray over me before I take the stage. That's how you can support me. Like just stuff like that. It don't have to be anything major.
But number one, you saying that they support you that way, or you ask, but you have to say it. You have to say it. And then the person hearing it has to respond to it.
Right.
And I think that is the disconnect. We're not communicating in a way that you can respond to my heart or to my need.
Right.
Just respond to my need, respond to my heart, respond to the woman that you know.
Yeah.
That's how you support another woman. Do
Yeah.
you know her? Like sometimes, and this is not that type of podcast or title right now, but I think, this whole thing with women don't support women or like each
Mhm.
other or don't get along is so like overrated.
Mhm.
I don't have problems like that. I know
Yeah.
there are women that don't like me.
Mhm.
Isn't that amazing?
That is.
Like, who would not like Michelle Washington? Like, why? I mean, I'm easy breezy. Everything is everything. I'm your biggest. I don't know why.
Well, that's where people prejudge, right?
But I'm saying, I don't know why. I do know, but they're not around me for me to entertain it. To the point, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on being the best woman that I can be and showing up for the women that allow me to show up for them. Because I'm not showing up for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody don't want me to show up for them, but I am going to show up for the ones that allow me to show up for them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's good. So you mentioned communication.
Do y'all have any water in this podcast? I mean, this is incredible. I mean, how in the world? I mean, do y'all?
Oh my God!
I used to see
you some water.
see you and Eli drinking water doing your podcast. See that people get comfortable with you. I don't want it.
I asked you earlier if you want. Just
Never
so y'all know, I
mind.
did ask her. She wanted
My stomach over here like folding. Feel like it's folding.
She's showing out right now. Yes.
What were you gonna say?
I don't even know.
I know.
Communication.
Okay.
So that word tends to come up a lot. Period. Not even just when it comes down to women, but lack of communication when it comes down to our families, lack of communication when it comes down to our relationships. And now we're seeing a lack of communication when it comes down to our friendships. Like what is the problem?
Shea, I really believe that when we were little girls, not now, because the generation now, they know how to talk. They are very, very open and what they want and how they want it. We weren't taught like that. For some, not all, weren't taught how to be a friend. Our first lesson was how to be a wife and a mother. A wife and a mother. A wife and a mother. We weren't taught anything about even being who we are. For some, not all. So this I'm not putting everybody in a box. But we get a doll, we get the doll house, we get the kitchen set. It has nothing to do with who we are. That's why we're women of more. I'm more than a chef because I can cook.
Can you? Why haven't I never had a dinner? Why haven't you cooked me dinner yet? I remember cooking you dinner a couple times. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just saying. Yes, a couple of times. Yes, you have had my shrimp fried rice. You have had, what else have you had? You've had, I don't think you've had my Old Bay and agave wings. I know we're going off topic. And look at that. She done got a bottle of water.
Know what?
No, hold that bottle of water up.
So, when you want to set. Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for getting me water. But I really don't like cold water. I like room temperature. I'm like, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. What's the question? When you cooking, your son's prom is not included in that. So can we go back to the day? What were you talking about?
Friend. I don't even know. But anyway, you said you can cook. And I said, can you? I've never had.
Yeah. So, but it's not important how. You know what? Let me say this to you. I'm gonna be transparent. Yesterday after church, I really wanted something, hearty, but I just made breakfast food.
You made some lamb. Oh, okay.
I just made breakfast food. So I like my eggs over medium, right? So the pan is, the non-stick pan. So I was like, I'm going to, so it could just flip over. It landed on the floor. I was so mad. Well, one landed in the frying pan, but the other one, it was two.
Landed on the floor.
But go on.
Wow.
I'm a guest.
Okay.
Thank you for the water. Can you put the camera on her while I drink my water, please?
We were talking about You know what? I can't with her. This is what I deal with. we were talking about communication and why is it so hard? And you were saying that, well, we wasn't really raised that way. We were raised to be mothers, wives, and and all of that stuff.
Right.
And learning how to be a friend, daddy, that starts with learning how to be a friend to yourself first.
Absolutely, Shay. Absolutely. The other part of that too is learning, and this is your sweet spot, learning to deal with the trauma and tragedies from the past, whether it was just you and friends, you and your crew. But I think that's somewhere in there too, that we look at each other differently. We have lack of respect. We don't trust each other as women, for those that do, not all, because we haven't healed from those things that absolutely happened.
Yeah.
And imagine, Shay, imagine this. We're at the photo shoot. We're strangers. I do my thing, but you are still in your trauma, and I come up to help you, and you respond to me like, "Who are you?" Like, "Yo, what's up?"
Right.
Because I wouldn't have did that if your spirit wasn't right. Because I was just there helping the photographer.
Right.
So imagine we wouldn't have the luxury of what we have now.
Yeah.
If you would allowed
you're right,
your past trauma and all that,
you're right,
to still be part of your today.
You are absolutely right, because you have just being in the therapy world, you have a lot of people that don't want people to enter their personal space. They don't even want to be touched. You have some people that don't like to be hugged, for whatever reason. So when you approached me, it wasn't a thing of you were telling me what to do. You actually was doing it. You physically was adjusting my suit, told me how to pose and all of that. So if I was in a space where it would have been like, please don't touch me, or no, I'm good, thank you though.
But I was supporting you.
What?
As a stranger.
Exactly.
Imagine the women that know each other, that lack the ability to support one another. It is so disappointing. I hate it with all of my heart. It is so disappointing when I see women that say they are friends, that say that they are, that's, and y'all, nah, man. No, I dislike it, because we can do better.
We can do better. We can. We definitely can do better. And I don't know how each person can get there, to get to that point, but we have to stop looking at other women as our enemy.
Yeah. Or competition.
Or competition.
There's only one Michelle Washington. There is only one Michelle Washington.
That's right.
That's younger than Shea. But there's only one, and I am so okay with it.
6 months. I had to count that out.
Okay.
6 months. I'm older than you by 6 months.
Well, it is what it is, honey. I'm not trying to put a number on it. I'm just saying you're older. Anyway.
It is only one Michelle Washington. Absolutely. Absolutely. So speaking of Michelle Washington.
Yes.
Yes. You have a lot of things going on. You got some things that's getting ready to launch. I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very excited.
The Women
about
of War box all the way over there. That's amazing. That is over there. It should be like here. I wish I would have paid attention. I would have, because I'm a guest at your studio.
I should have had it sitting right here.
For sure.
You are absolutely right.
Don't worry about it.
Can you pass me that Women of War box, please? Because you know what? We're going to do this the right way.
It's over. I'm done. I'm done. It's over. The podcast is over. And you're going to throw it on the floor, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
Jennifer just threw the box on the floor.
This.
Wow.
I showed this on the show a couple weeks ago when I got my shirt. This was delivered in this box. So, and I kept it.
Did I sign it?
You did sign it.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
Can I read what you wrote? Yeah. Okay. She says, Shea, thank you for your support and friendship. I'm rooting for you. You are a woman of more. There's more to you, my much younger sister.
Mhm. Did I say that? Oh, I didn't say that.
I was waiting
That's a
for you
nice
to say.
box, though. That's a
It
nice
is a
box.
nice box. It really is. So let's talk about your journey a little bit about
Mhm.
your journey of supporting women.
Mhm.
Where did Woman of More even come from? What was the
Mhm.
birthplace of that?
So I was married for 15 years. No, I was married for 13 years,
Mhm.
and it was very abusive physically,
Mhm.
mentally, and emotionally. And once I finally had the courage to leave, finally, I went through the stages of therapy and all of those other things. And I still found myself eventually later on in a dark spot because when you get a divorce, you get two
Mhm.
titles as a single mom when
Yep.
you have kids, and now you become a divorced woman.
Mhm.
And it's so amazing how your story labels you and all this other stuff, but that's a different topic. But there was one Saturday, I'll never forget. It was a Saturday morning, and I was just in my room, just feeling some type of way, you
Mhm.
know. And I could feel the presence of God, and He said, "Michelle, you're more than your trauma and your tragedy.
Mhm.
You're a woman of more." And then I heard there is more to you. And
Mhm.
in that moment, I don't know why I get emotional because it was such a powerful moment for me. He said, "There's more to you." And when I heard that, all these light bulbs just went off. And
Mm.
in that, I said to myself, I start declaring who I was. I start speaking the truth over my life.
Mhm.
And I said, well, if I needed that reminder, it's because I did it. I knew that,
Yeah.
but life at the moment was causing me to forget the truth.
Right.
And that's what happens sometimes with life.
Yeah.
So I said, if I needed the reminder, there are women around the world that need that reminder as well.
Absolutely.
So that's where Women of More started. And then because I'm in my background is marketing and creativity, I
Mhm.
was like, well, let me start with a campaign on
Mhm.
Facebook. And I started pulling different women that I knew. And I
Mhm.
reached out to them and say, hey, you're a woman of more. Tell me why. And they would
Mm.
send it in. I would create a graphic and I would just put them out there. That's
Mhm.
how we started. But in that journey, I came across a magazine. It's called Elle Magazine. In
Mhm.
this magazine, it was a smaller magazine inside. It was like a special edition. So I took the smaller magazine and I carried that magazine with me for 1 year.
Mhm.
And I said to myself, one day, Women of More have a magazine. For a year, I
Mhm.
kept saying I would look at it. The pages didn't change or anything like that.
Right.
But it was my declaration. It was my faith booster, what I call when you're believing for something.
Mhm.
And eventually we started with the magazine that went around the world. People are still viewing it now. We're looking to revamp that because I want to make the pages more powerful, more
Mhm.
relatable, talkative.
Mhm.
So this fall we're releasing a lot of great things, a lot of content that's going to speak to the hearts of the women
Mhm.
where they are, but also get them to realize that there is more to them. That is my whole vision. That is what I'm doing. That's what God has me doing right now.
Mhm.
But just let women know that they don't have to stay where they are.
Right.
Society is always going to have a name or title for us, but sometimes our voices are louder
Mhm.
than the world, louder than our past. What are you saying
Yeah.
about you? Because me going through that journey, that made me a better friend. Let me tell you, Shay, you're getting the best of Michelle as a friend now because I got it wrong so many
Yeah.
times. I got it wrong so many times. And when I
Mhm.
think about those moments where I was the cause of another woman's pain,
Mhm.
it bothers me so much. It bothers me so much that I had to put in the work
Mhm.
to turn those things around.
Yeah.
So now I could be a better friend, a best friend, a better sister, a better mom, all those things. So
Yeah.
that's
Do
the story.
do you believe, or do you think that perhaps some of those things when it comes down to, you were saying I wasn't the best friend, you know, that you had to go through those experiences to be able to be who you are now as a
Absolutely.
friend, as a woman, and
I wish
supporting
I didn't
women.
have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody want to go through it.
Right.
But I'm grateful I'm on the other side of
Yeah.
that. And those individuals allow me to apologize. I think that's the other thing too. It takes a strong woman, a woman that understands who she is, to go back to another woman and say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got that wrong. My bad. Without looking for her to say, I'm sorry too. No. Go back. If you know you did something wrong, like not providing water or a snack for your guests on your podcast, like where they do that at? Because I've seen people as guests get treatment that is significant. And it's amazing to me.
That's how you gonna leave our guests thinking.
It's amazing to me that I can't even get water. I don't even drink cold water. I like room temperature water. But you know,
my goodness.
You know,
We didn't get your rider. My bad. We didn't get your rider.
Oh well. Whatever. But anyway, I forgive you though. But again, it goes back to, you know, identifying what you can do that's going to make you better, but also the people that you're connected to. And that means so much to me. And I had to grow to that space. I really did. I had to grow to that space of keeping my promise to myself first, and then I can keep my word to others. It's not the other way. I'm not going to keep my word to you first before I do it to me. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
You know?
I think that's a good point to make, because perhaps maybe that's why sometimes people have a hard time showing up for others, is because they're doing the opposite. Like you said, you're going to keep your word to yourself first and then others, versus someone keeping their word to others and not themselves.
And on that note, ladies out there, you don't get no award for being that person in a friendship. I do everything for everybody. I show up for everybody. I hold everybody bags. I hold everybody hair when they not feeling well. I do everything for my friends. Okay, but that's your choice. You're choosing to be that person. But I just love to give. Well, if you're giving, allow someone to give back to you. And I think sometimes we miss that support as well.
Yeah.
If there's an award out there for being everything for everybody, please let me know. Put it in the comments if there's an award or some form of something.
Yeah.
But then this is what happens. When we get to a point and we're sick and tired or we're frustrated, now we got a problem.
Right.
Because I did that for you. Remember that time I did that and I did that and I did. But you did it because that's what you wanted to do.
Right.
Man.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, I think that's a great point to make, because I do think sometimes people do, for whatever reason, whatever their trauma have been, may try to be that friend that shows up all the time, and like you just said, and then they get disappointed when that's not reciprocated or doesn't look like it looks when they're doing it, right? And everybody is not going to do how you love on me. I'm going to love on you back, but it's going to look different.
The beautiful thing about this, Shea, that point, we never had a conversation about that. What we have, or I don't even think we had a conversation on the what of the friendship. There's a mutual respect.
Right.
And because we have respect, we listen to each other. And when I say listen, you were going through something. And I said, you know, how are you feeling? That was my question. But how are you feeling? And your feeling never changed. And you said something to me. You said, well, it's just the way that it is. And I realized by listening to you, Michelle, maybe you shouldn't have asked her, how are you feeling? So from that point on, I never said, how are you feeling about that particular thing? Because I know right now that feeling is not moving.
Right.
So why keep asking you?
Right.
And the point that I'm making is that we have to listen.
Yeah.
And respond to what we're hearing without making up our own assumptions
Mhm.
about what the other person is not saying
Mhm.
that you think they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. And for me, so on the other end of that
Mm-hmm.
was I got tired of hearing myself
Yeah, man.
constantly say, "Oh, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
feeling well. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not feeling my best."
Mm-hmm.
And I had the more I said it, I felt the worse I would get. But if I was to remove my thought from it and
Mm-hmm.
just be like, okay, this is something that I have to deal
Mm-hmm.
with every day when I get up.
Mm-hmm.
I still got to work through this. I
Mm-hmm.
still got to keep going. I still had to be, motivated regardless of what the feeling
Mm-hmm.
is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So even with you doing that, it also gave, for me, it was just like, I'm tired of hearing myself say it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know other people got to be tired of hearing me say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have that perspective for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to say something different.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. You gotta give a different answer. Even
Mm-hmm.
though you may not be feeling good, you still gotta give a different answer.
And again, I never said in that moment,
Mhm.
Shay, you need to say something different.
Nope, we didn't.
I changed my communication style with you because of what I heard you say.
Mhm.
Because I knew you had to work out this particular space on your own. And again, I wasn't always like that. I had
Mhm.
to learn that.
Mhm.
I had to learn to be present but distant.
Give space.
And
Yeah.
I think some women don't understand that that is another way of supporting each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't isolate yourself from the relationship,
Mhm.
but sometimes give space
Yeah.
in the relationship. You know, with my best friend, sometimes her thing is to retreat, to get
Mhm.
things done. I'm more like, no, let's talk.
Mhm.
But I had to learn over the years that give her what
Mhm.
she needs
Mhm.
and allow her to come back to a place where now we're communicating. And it's
Right.
the same, it's the same thing in all relationships. If we learn each other, we're able to relate to each other better, man.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have this thing in therapy
Mhm.
that we use. I use it more so for couples, but this can work with friendships as well, right?
Okay.
And we're talking about the love languages.
Okay.
How do you show love? How do you receive love?
Yeah.
And everybody is different. And when you're able to learn that about whoever that person is to you,
Yeah.
you're able to communicate with them better.
Yes.
You're able to, you and I can have conversations without even saying anything to each other. We could just look at each other, right? And just bust out laughing or whatever that look might be. But it's understanding what is your love language? Like,
Yeah.
what makes you feel good, and being able to do those things. So you may have someone that is just like, I'm an act of kindness person. I'm going to do things that I know is going to that you like, that I
Mhm.
know. Well, let's say your act of kindness. So if
Mhm.
your act of kindness, then me doing things for you that is going to take something off your plate, that's going to speak to you.
Mhm.
Where if I'm at words of affirmation, you may call me and say, hey, I just want to speak this over you. I want to say this to you. Remember who you are. There's more to you.
Mhm.
Whatever.
Mhm.
That may fuel me, right?
Mhm.
But if you're doing something different
Right.
than what I'm used to receiving in regards to communication,
Yeah.
we're speaking two different languages.
Right.
So if I'm a person that is, like I said, I'm a word of affirmation, and you're giving me personal touch all the time, and I don't want personal touch,
Right.
then I may come back and be like, Michelle, like, I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So understanding how you communicate, understand, what the need is. And
Mhm.
again, the best way to understand that is to ask, how can I support you?
How can I support you? You know what? Put that in the chat. Put that in the chat right now. How can I support you? Start there.
Mm-hmm.
If there is some form of stress or frustration, or you're irritated by something in regards to your relationship with another woman, and your friendships,
Mm-hmm.
ask them, how can I support you? How can I become a better friend? Am I
Absolutely.
missing you? I had to ask that question too. Like, am I communicating in a way you understand me? Because
Mm-hmm.
we understand what we're saying.
Right.
That doesn't mean I understand what
Right.
you're saying, So I had to say, sometimes can you say it like I'm a 5-year old? Because right
Mm-hmm.
now I'm like
Mm-hmm.
lost.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Mm-hmm.
important for me to understand.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. And that's why a lot of times I do follow up and I'll say, does that make sense?
Hmm.
Or do you want, and not the fact that I don't think you're smart and you don't
Right.
understand what I'm saying,
Right.
but I just want to make sure, because sometimes what comes out our mouth is not how it's landing
Correct.
on other
The
people.
tone of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's not how it's landing. And better yet, if there is someone that you're missing, a friend or whatever, this would be a perfect time to share this video with them, to
Absolutely.
share this
I agree.
conversation, because that person may not even know that you're missing them,
Hmm.
or whatever the thoughts are that's going on. This would be a perfect time to say, hey, I was watching this and I was thinking of you.
Hmm.
Maybe we need to sit down and have a conversation so we can work through our differences.
Hmm.
Or, I'm sorry for not showing up and being
Hmm.
there. How can I support you moving forward?
Hmm.
This is a
Hmm.
perfect time to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And start with you. Start with you, because we know our opportunities.
Mhm.
Nobody have to tell me what I struggle with, or So the first thing I would suggest is that you talk to yourself, find out where you're missing it within
Mhm.
yourself. Number two, then go to your sister friend and say,
Mhm.
I know I messed up, but I'm
Mhm.
here to support you. I want to make this work. I want to support you in a way that's going to be beneficial to you,
Mhm.
and when you start there, I think it could grow,
Yeah.
you know.
We got to get out of this mindset that we don't need other women. We need other
Yeah,
women. We need women. We need
yeah.
our
If you talk that
sisterhood.
way, you suck.
Yeah.
I mean that from the bottom of my
Yeah.
heart, my hungry stomach. I mean that.
D-
You know,
You know,
you know,
I can't. Wait.
I think it was the cold water that made my stomach. But anyway,
The-
go ahead. I'm finished.
What?
What time is this podcast over? What time did we start? It seemed like we've been talking for hours. Jesus.
Yeah. We do need other women. We definitely do. I wished we both went through divorces.
Yes. Well, thank you, Shay, for telling my business.
I
Did I say
wish
that? Oh, I did say that.
you
Go
did
ahead.
say that.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I wish that another woman during that time would have shared with me, would have came to me, would have just said it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
And
Shay.
that you're, as you say, you're more than, because when you go
Shay.
through a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Your identity is mom,
Mm-hmm.
your identity is wife, mother and wife.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rediscovering who you are now,
Mm-hmm.
outside of being a mother, outside of being a wife. I remember when we joined when I was going to the morning rally, you had asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny because not only myself, but a lot of other women did not know how to answer that. You was like, "Who are you?"
Mm-hmm.
And you kept yelling it. She kept yelling it over and over again. Who are you? Who are you? Most of the time we say what our labels are. I'm a therapist, I'm a
Always.
mother, I'm a wife.
Always.
Um, you know, that's how we identify. And it's not until you go through that whole process for you realize, like, you don't even know who you are. Like,
I
who
also
am
asked the
I?
question, what do you want?
Mhm.
I remember saying that really
Mhm.
passionate. Like, what do
Very
you
loud
want?
and
For
yelling.
sure. For sure. and I get so passionate is
Yeah.
because I gotta get through the concrete of the hearts and the minds and
Mhm.
emotions of these women,
Mhm.
because we think we're isolating ourselves to be restored or renewed.
Mhm.
But some of us are isolating ourselves behind the very walls that's
Mhm.
causing us more pain.
Right. Right.
So everywhere, women are saying, I'm a mother, I'm a this. I'm like, that's your
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
God has given you the ability to be a mother. He gifted you with the ability to be a mother, but that's not all that's what you
Absolutely.
do. It's a wonderful title. It's a wonderful
Mhm.
opportunity for us to be mothers and wives and this
Mhm.
and that and all of that. But who are you?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that we as women want people to see us for who we
Right.
are. And women
Right.
say this,
Yep.
I just wish people would see me for who I am. Who
Who are you?
are you?
Yeah. Facts.
Ladies, I
Facts.
got to go to you, man.
Yeah.
Who are you? Who do you want us to know? Who do you want
Mhm.
us to see? Like, based upon that answer, is who you are.
Mhm.
It's easy to put the disclosure out of the titles and stuff.
Right.
But
Right.
who are
Who
you
are you? Yeah.
outside of those things?
Yeah.
Who are you outside of your 9 to 5?
Mhm.
Because you do all that. I mean, women around the world, we do our 9 to 5. Like, it's amazing. The
Mhm.
CEOs, the
Mhm.
executives, the fashion designers, the hairstylists, all that. We do that with such ease.
Right.
But once we remove ourselves from the position, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know, man.
But see, I've also learned
Mm-hmm.
too that a lot of people drown themselves in
Mm-hmm.
work,
Yeah.
careers, and all of that to avoid from dealing with other things.
Right.
Right. So, um, if I'm working, if I'm focusing on work, if I'm focusing
Mm-hmm.
on this, I don't have to deal with or worry about what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now you're constantly losing more and more of yourself every
Mm-hmm.
day,
We've
every
been
day.
there.
Yeah. Every day you constantly, losing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But when you discover the power that you have,
Talk to
the
them.
questions that you may have, the answers you already hold, everything is within you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's everything that you need is within you. And if the things that you don't have, being able to have an open mind and
Mm-hmm.
ask for what it is that you need
Mm-hmm.
is something that you always, another saying that you always say is everything that you need is in the room.
It's in the room.
It's in the room. And it's so true. It
Mm-hmm.
really is. But we're afraid to open our mouths and ask for it. Or we're afraid to talk about it. Or we don't want other people to know that we need it. So we won't say anything.
God, you was getting passionate right there, Shay. You really, I thought you was great. Like, oh, Shay.
We won't
Shay,
say
let me
anything.
say that on this point. Earlier this morning, right? Monday's my day off. And I start, well, I'm
You
here.
had to put that out there,
Well,
right?
it's my day off. And I use that to study, to prepare for the
Uh-huh.
morning rally and everything, right? And I was just, thinking about how we're born or created
Mm-hmm.
with dominance, with a power that is greater than anything outside of us.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking in the kitchen, I was wrapping around, just walking. I said, God, even now I'm walking with dominion. And I kept saying this out
Mm-hmm.
loud. I said, God, right now I'm walking with your likeness,
Mm-hmm.
with your image on the inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing outside of me can override the ability, the power that is
Mm-hmm.
in me right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So when I say that everything you need is in the room, yes, it's in the room, but everything you need is in the room
Yeah.
that God placed himself in you to
Mm-hmm.
do exactly what he predestined, what he prearranged, what he created. At this point right now, there should be a single camera on me, but it's not. Woo! Because I'll get stirred up. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. All the plans that he has for us. The Bible says that he knows the plans that he has for us. What in his plans is his power.
Right.
It's his dominance. It's our dominion that we have inside the plans that he has for us.
Yeah.
So if we believe what God said concerning us, life for us would be so different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you wouldn't have challenges. I'm not saying that, because the Bible says don't be surprised when difficulties come. Don't be surprised when detours come. But there is an ability in you. There is a power in you that can help you through it.
Yeah.
And knowing that,
yeah.
Oh, I move differently.
Yeah. For sure.
I talk differently.
For sure.
Because everything is in the room.
Yep. Absolutely.
And if you come to themorningrally.com, go to themorningrally.com, you'll get more of that. You'll
get it all. You're going to get it.
Just do a single shot.
You're going to get it
right now, because I'm done.
I shared something with you, and I know we got to wrap up soon, but I shared something with you this morning. We were talking. Well, we were texting. Yes. And I said, because I want people to understand that you're going to have these moments. It doesn't mean that you're falling back or that you're giving up or anything like that. I wear a lot of hats, and I was feeling mentally drained.
Yeah.
Right. And I know that I'm speaking to somebody out there right now. I was feeling mentally drained. I didn't even want to think. Right. So something as simple as just asking a simple question to me just felt hard. Right. And it wasn't that I didn't have what it takes to do it, to create it. I just didn't feel like it. I was tired. I just wanted a mental break. And I have to listen to myself when that happens. And I encourage you to listen to yourself. Don't beat up on yourself. Don't, feel like, oh my God, I can't do this, or this is not for me. Because sometimes we'll take a sign and we'll be like, oh, that must be God telling me I shouldn't go for this, or I shouldn't do this. No, it just means that you just need to take a moment, lean in, embrace what it is that you're feeling. Stop running away from the feeling, but lean into it. It's okay to say, I feel a little bit burned out. I feel like, because what I wanted to say was, I feel like I'm losing my passion, but I immediately say, that's not what it is.
That's not what it was.
And that's not what it was. But again, it goes, you can't always rely on your feeling about things, because we're going to have a lot of different feelings. So you can't always move based upon your feeling. You have to move based upon what it is that you know to be true. And if you know that everything that you need is within you, right? No matter how you're feeling, no matter how drained and tired I was feeling, I still was able to move through my day. It was just a feeling, because I knew that eventually the feeling was going to pass, and I knew that everything that I needed was already within me. I just needed to tap into that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's very important to be able to understand that, because we will push away, or we won't allow ourselves to rest and to renew, rebuild, and restore, right? So we're able to rebirth something, valuable, later on. So, yeah.
I agree, Shay. I agree.
Yeah. But again, it started out as us having a conversation, and you said, you asked the question, but it was to clarify what it is. And then I thought about the question, and I said, you know what? It's not the passion. I just think that I'm burned out.
Yeah.
I just think that I'm tired.
Which is so good.
Yeah.
Because she was able to get to the root of the feeling. Because sometimes we just allow the feeling to take its way with us not even identifying, where is this feeling coming from?
Right.
And when you taught yourself through it, you was like, well, this was going on, and that was going on, and that is going on, and that. Like, Well, maybe that's what it
That's what it
is.
is.
Yeah.
It's just a feeling. But your place as a friend in that moment, you acknowledge, you validate it, and you support what I needed in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You could have very well been like, hey, you know what? This is what you need to do. Don't listen to that feeling. Da da da. And that may have been a big turnoff for me. But you knew what I needed in that moment.
Because I understand what it looks like
Mm-hmm.
to support Shea
Yep.
Marriott.
For me. Yep.
I could have done that. I probably did that to Jennifer, but not you.
Right.
Because it was like, that's not what she needs right
That's
now.
not what she needs. Right.
And
Right.
that's, again, ladies, that's how you
Yep.
truly support another woman, by understanding her language. You talked about love language. Also knowing how she's wired.
Mhm.
Understanding that she's similar to you, not in the character, not all of that, but she's a woman, meaning that we're not the same.
Mhm.
But what connects us is that we are women.
Yeah.
And whatever I need as a woman, she needs as a woman.
Right.
You know? The
Right.
foundation.
Right.
That's what I'm going to.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
you was looking like I was.
Because I was waiting for you to say something about, but you much older.
Everything is not about a joke.
Well,
I'm
well,
trying to be
excuse
serious.
me.
I don't understand. Can I talk?
Go ahead.
I'm done.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's your show.
All right, guys. That brings us to the end
Oh,
of
it's
the
over?
show. It
Good
is.
night.
However, I would like for you to wrap the show up by, just saying what people can look forward to. How do they follow you? How do they get involved with the morning rally? How do they get the apparel and everything else that you got going on?
Shea, sincerely, I thank God that we are here. We have an understanding and a mutual respect for one another. We really want to see each other win. And that means the world to me. And I honor that. And I also said to you recently, I said, thank you for allowing me to speak into your life, because I know sometimes I could come across very passionate. But I'm saying it because I see that there's truly more to you.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. And I will never take that for granted. And I said that to you. But I am grateful to be on your set. Even being on your set is something that you wanted. And we're actually in something you desired. Can we really land there? You desired your own. And we're sitting in something that you talked about. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. Yeah.
You didn't think about it that way?
Yeah. Not until you just said it, friend.
Good night.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So even for that, I honor you.
Thank you.
I'm rooting for you so big, honey. I really am. Listen, Shea, I am rooting for you. You're going to do some amazing things. You got the Rebirth Live coming up in October. Yes. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But just keep doing what you're doing. I may not be in the room with you, but I'll be there in a way to show you that I'm supporting you.
Yeah.
To those that are watching, make sure you follow Rebirth Podcast, Shea Marriott, Eli, Corey, Jennifer. This is an amazing team, amazing thing that you have established, Shea. So keep up the good work. It's every Monday at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Not just on Facebook, but on YouTube. And what else you got?
All podcast platforms.
Well, you could have just answered
yes.
me when
what
I
did
said
you
the
say?
question.
What else?
It's over. My commercial is over. So just follow me, Michelle Washington, or Women of More. Women of More on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, but just Michelle Washington. And what else? womenofmoreapparel.com. You can grab the shirt. That is our first staple piece that Shea is rocking right now. We have a second one that says millions, billions, but it's crossed out. And it says exceedingly and abundantly above all. Because that came from, sometimes we're going to need millions and billions because that's the dollar amount. But God said that he will do that in abundance. Whatever you ask. So what did you think? He could do more than the millions and the billions. So that's our second staple piece. The other thing, I've been saying it for the entire podcast, it's about 3 hours now, but the morning rally, themorningrally.com. You can join our community of females that are just rocking it out. Before I even
Yeah.
start talking at the morning rally, I allow the women to share their wins.
Mm-hmm.
And it is amazing just to hear what they're doing, how successful they are. And they always say, Michelle, we appreciate you allowing us to talk about this,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have that support. Because
Yeah.
sometimes when you share, like, oh my God, I just made $1 million, or I got the client, some
Yeah.
people don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
But I want to hear about it, to the
Yeah.
point sometimes they
Absolutely.
text me, inbox me, and say, I didn't
Absolutely.
even tell XYZ yet. I'm like, yo, that is cool. So
Yeah.
themorningrally.com, you could join the community. And again, it's just for females, every Thursday at 7 a.m. And just follow to hear all the great things that's coming this fall with Women of More. I'm
Yeah. I'm
super
excited.
duper excited about it, man. And I'm doing it not afraid. I know a lot of times people say, do it afraid. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not afraid anymore.
Nope. Good. Good.
Hello?
Good. Good. That's good.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me, Sister.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for everything that you have done, just for me, for my family. You know, um, you seriously are truly a good friend.
Thank you.
And I do appreciate you.
Thank you, Shay.
I do.
Likewise.
I appreciate the sisterhood. Um, she gets excited about things for me that I haven't even wrapped my head around, so it's really great to have someone like that on your team. So it means a lot to me. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So guys, make sure you support, you follow. There's going to be some amazing things
Yeah.
coming from Women of More, and I'm very excited. And we're going to rock out. We're going to rock out. So thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you every Monday night at 7 p.m. If you have not purchased your tickets yet for Rebirth Live and Uncut, you might want to do so. Go to rebirthu.com right now and get your ticket. We also have applications on there for the vendors, as well as if you are interested in sponsoring. So again, thank you again, and we will see you next Monday at 7 p.m. Have a blessed week. Good night.